Hi everyone, my name is Nuria and this is my sewing journey, and for today's video I'm going to teach you how to draft the trouser foundation. So let's get into it. First things first, let's look into what measurements you need to create this pattern. First one up is your waistline. This is going to be around the thinnest part of your body, which is the waist. Second one is going to be around your hips, so that's the thickest part of your body, the biggest one. So if your buttocks is a little bit below, measure that area, or if it's a little bit higher, also measure that area. So make sure that it's the widest part of your body. Next one up is going to be the length of your pants. From your waistline until how long you want your pants to be. I would advise you to measure until your ankle bone. You're probably going to need someone to help you there. Next one up is also a vertical measurement, and it's from the waistline until where you measured your hip. So it's going to be your hip depth. Another really important one is your crotch length, and it's going to be from the front waist and you go around your buttocks and until the back waist. And the last measurement you're going to need is your crotch depth, and you can measure it by sitting down on a flat surface and measuring from your waistline until where the flat surface starts. And that's it. Some other measurements that might be interesting for you to have are the circumferences of the big parts of your body. So for example, circumference of your ankle, circumference of your knee, and circumference of your upper thigh. But this is just to check if the pattern is big enough for you, but they are not completely necessary to draft this one that I'm going to show you. Those are all the measurements, so we're ready to draft the pattern. Let's get into the drafting. This pattern is drafted to fit the natural waistline. If you want another design, I would advise you to follow these measurements, and once you're done, I have another video explaining how to modify these waistlines. Now let's get into the drafting. Step number 1 is to create the structure. For that, we'll mark point 0 at the top left of our paper. We'll draw a line down to point 1 that measures the waist to ankle length. From 1, we'll draw a line to the right to point 2 that measures half of the hip circumference plus 1.25 centimeters. And finally, we'll finish the rectangle and we'll divide it halfway plus 1 centimeter from line 0, 1. Step number 2 is to add the main lines. These will define our body levels. Let's start with the hip line. This will be measured from 0 down and is the waist to hip measurement. The next line is the crotch line, which is also measured from 0 down and is the crotch depth plus 2 centimeters. The last line is the knee line and is measured from the line 1 to 2 and is half the measurement between the crotch and the ankle plus 2.5 centimeters. It's important to note that the line 0-3 is the waistline and the line 1 to 2 is the ankle line. To make it easier later, number all the points where the lines cross the structure, and you should have numbers from 4 to 12. Step number 3 is drawing the crotch curve. To know where the curve will meet the structure, draw a line from 0 down that is halfway between the waist and the crotch line. Next, let's add the crotch extensions. For the back, which is the one on the left, draw from point 5 to the left a line that measures half of the distance from 5 to 8. This is point 13. For the front, on the right, draw a line from point 11 to the right that measures 1/4 from the distance 8 to 11. This is point 14. To help you draft the curve, draw a diagonal line from point 5 that is 5 centimeters and a diagonal line from 11 that is 3.75 centimeters. The final thing is to define where the waist starts. For the back, on the left, mark point 17, 2 centimeters to the right from point 0. For the front, on the right, mark point 18, 0.5 centimeters below point 3. Now draw the curve by joining the points 13, the diagonal 15, 17 for the back, and 14, the diagonal 16 and 18 for the front. Step number 4 is to draft the waistline. For this, we'll have to define how many darts we want. This will vary depending on your body type. Some guidelines for this are that the darts should be maximum 3 centimeters wide, and after that they should be divided by 2. 2 darts are used for larger hips and small waist, and 1 dart for more rectangular bodies. These guidelines, of course, are both for the front and for the back, And for this pattern, I'll continue with some standard darts, which for the front is going to be 2 darts of 1 centimeter each. So this is a total of 2 centimeters. And for the back, 2 centimeters for each dart and also 2 darts. And this is a total of 4 centimeters. Once you know what dart measurements to use, let's draw the waistline. For the back, draw from 17 to the right 1/4 of the waist circumference plus the dart measurement, in my case 4 centimeters, and add 0.5 centimeters for added ease. Mark point 19. For the front, measure from 3 to the left 1/4 of the waist circumference plus the darts, in my case 2 centimeters, plus 0.5 centimeters for ease. This is point 20. Step number 5 is adding the darts. Both front and back follow the same procedure. For the back, we're going to add them from point 17 to the right. The first dart is 7.5 centimeters from point 17, and the second one is 3 centimeters from the end of the first dart. In this example, my darts are 2 centimeters each. The darts for the back are 11 centimeters long. For the front, we'll do the same, starting from point 3 to the left. The first one is 7.5 centimeters and the second one 3 centimeters. For this example, the front darts are 1 centimeter each, and the darts at the front are 7.5 centimeters long. Remember to add your own darts. As an example, the pattern for my body only uses 1 dart at the back and 0 at the front, and the length of the darts will also depend on your buttocks and abdomen shape, so play around with them. Step number 6 is to create the trouser's final silhouette. For that, we'll have to find the center of the trousers. For the back, we'll mark it from point 8 to the left, and it's half of the distance of 8 and 13, plus 0.5 centimeters. Draw a perpendicular line to the crotch line that goes all the way to the ankle line. For the front of the trousers, measure the line from point 8 to the right, half of the distance of 8 to 14. Plus 0.5 centimeters. These are called the crease lines. Once this is done, we can define the ankle width of our pants. For this example, I'll show you a tapered version, but you can always add your own measurements at the knee level and ankle level. For the back, add 11 centimeters on each side of the crease line, and for the front, add 10 centimeters on each side. This is to have a basic leg line, but if you have another silhouette in mind, I have another video explaining what types of leg lines you have, and you can try that. And now that we have all the points to draw the trousers, you just connect them. Remember adding a slight curve below the crotch points and also at the hip, and you will be able to adjust this when you make your own prototype. Now that we're done, there are a couple of checks you can do, like measuring the crotch curves, which are points 13, 15, and 17, plus 18, 16 to 14, and making sure that this measurement is the same or bigger than the crotch length we measured at the beginning. And it's also good to make sure your legs will fit in the trousers by measuring the widths at the front and back at knee level, at the high thigh level, and the ankle level. And the measurement should be bigger than your knee, high thigh and ankle circumference, as we need some ease to allow for movement. And one last check is to measure the sides of both front and back to make sure they are the same. If you want more step-by-step instructions, I also have this tutorial in my website, so you can follow it at your own pace. And that's it! There you go! If you want to modify this foundation, I have plenty more videos about how to modify it. And if you do it, please let me know. Follow me on Instagram. My handle is _Nuriamo, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!